What's up, people? Happy Wednesday. Hope all of you are having a great day. Okay, so it's been a while. The reason it's been taking so long to do a video is because of work, basically. It's the holiday season. I've worked like 7 days straight. I am exhausted. Today was like literally one of my days off. So, because I don't get another day off, I think I get my next day off Friday. So I was so happy to get today off. I was like, thank God. But I have been watching the show. Yesterday's episode I did when I got home last night. I did watch yesterday's episode. Helena basically she wants Nicholas to be a true Cassadine. Either be a true Cassadine or she's taken away everything. The mansion, the island, the company, the money, she's taking it all away from him. I know some people are trying to figure out how the hell could Helena do that, but like Helena said, she knows about the Cassadine Industries holdings. She knows about the holdings, so she obviously knows some secrets that Nicholas don't know nothing about. Because you have to remember, Miko started that company back in the day. So Helena knows in the ins and outs of the Cassadine fortune. She knows the ins and outs of the shit, so she know where all the bodies are buried, basically. So anyway, getting on with today's episode. So Sam confronts Jake / Jason. I think everybody's calling him Jakeson. I don't know, but I'm just gonna call him Jason because I ain't got time for the nicknames. So anyway, she confronts him about being the one that took her hostage and breaking Faison out of police custody. But of course, he doesn't remember it because remember, Helena has him programmed. So she has him programmed to where whatever he does or says with her, she makes him forget it when he's around other people. When he's, his regular self. It's like split personality in a way. It's kind of like DID, but where you have multiple personalities and shit. How you just can't remember your other personality, basically, is what this is all about. He's denying it, but she swears up and down that she knows him. So meanwhile, while that's happening, Jason is starting to remember him taking her hostage. He's actually having a flashback of it. But he's trying to piece it all together because, like I said, he's programmed. So, Patrick is having lunch or whatever with Sabrina. He's letting her know what really happened, who's really behind what happened to their son, Gabriel. The fact that Victor Cassadine was behind it. She's still trying to understand what's going on. And then she was asking about Victor, and he told her that Victor is dead. And he told her how, Sam just won't forgive him. She's upset with him. And that's when Sabrina left and Sam came in. Sam, she doesn't strike me as the type, like, she's going to be mad at you, but she's a very forgiving person. Because the thing about Sam is, I think she's more forgiving now, if you think about it, because Sam has been through some shit. We all know that Sam hasn't had a squeaky clean life. When she first got to Port Charles, Sam was a con artist. Sam was, she married men for money. This was, everything we learned about her when she first came to town. So, Sam has done a lot of, shady shit in her life, so I think she's more forgiving towards people now. She's hurt, but she's more forgiving, but at least she'll try to forgive you. And that's what she told Patrick. She'll try to forgive him. And I'm glad because, her and Patrick, I actually like them together. They're good friends. Now, as far as what the future holds for them as a couple, we still don't know where the writers are going with this. We still don't know. Maybe they'll put her back with Jason or maybe not. We don't know where the direction is heading because, like I said, these writers, they're unpredictable. Well, they're predictable, but, when it comes down to certain things that we want, trust me, if it's anything the fans want, we're most likely not going to get it. If it's something like, say if we all want Jason and Sam back together, the writers are going to go into the opposite direction because that's what they do most of the time. They go right into the opposite direction of what we want and do what they want because they're jackasses like that. So, Yeah, she's talking about forgiving him. Meanwhile, Silas is at the PCPD visiting Ava, letting her know that Morgan and Kiki are looking after the baby. Ava, of course, has concerns because Morgan and Kiki are not equipped to take care of an infant baby, which I can understand because none of them have experience in taking care of a child. But, she's a little bit, she's feeling a little bit better because now she knows that Carly is there to help take care of the kid. Even though she hates Carly and Carly hates her, she's more secure about it. And she's open to the idea because, Carly did raise 3 kids, even though Carly ain't no mother of the year, but, I take that over, nothing. But so Silas leaves, Sabrina comes in or whatever and apologizes to Ava about what she did to the baby. See, this is why I like Sabrina though. She's owning up to her shit. She's doing something that most people on the show just don't do. And that's own up and take responsibility. She got fired from the hospital. She openly took responsibility for her misdeed. And she's owning that shit. And I love Sabrina for it because she's doing something that not a lot of characters do. They're owning up to their shit. You know what I mean? And I like that. She's not blaming nobody for her actions. She's taking ownership of what she did. And I tip my hat to her. You have to have respect for that, especially when you watch this show and see so many people do stupid shit and they find ways to blame other people for their shit. You know what I mean? They don't take the high road and just take responsibility for their own actions. They find a way to blame somebody for their own mistakes. But she's actually not blaming nobody. She knows she did something stupid. She did something wrong and she's owning that shit. And I'm proud, that takes a lot of courage, a lot of guts to own up to your shit. And she's doing just that. So hats off to her. Ava accepted the apology, and they're cordial. I really don't feel bad for Ava because, like I said, Ava, you did this to yourself. And Ava kind of took she basically took ownership of her shit too, though. Because she was like, she knew she hurt a lot of people over the years and she knew one day karma was going to come back on her and she knew one day she was going to have to pay for her sins. And, she's owning that shit. Now she knows that she got to pay for it. As much as she hate being in jail, but, it is what it is. Maxi and Nathan, I love their scene today. Their scene was very cute. How they just laid up in the bed and all she wanted to do was, all she wanted was him to hold her and comfort her. And he kept promising her that he was going to make shit right. I hate the fact that Maxi keep blaming herself for this jackass of a judge. Let me tell you something. I watched yesterday's episode and I was so furious with that judge. I'm like, he is such a cold-hearted bastard. I'm all for tough judges, but only if it fits the crime. I'm all for punishment, but only if the punishment fits the crime. It's been 6 months. And like Alexis said, she has shown growth. She has shown improvement in the last 6 months. Well, minus that whole the Levi situation. I forgot all about Levi. I swear to God, I forgot all about Dungleman or Peter Harrell Jr. or whatever. Peter Harold Jr. I forgot all about that jackass. So glad that storyline is over. But I digress. The judge was just a straight up jack. Like, he was a straight up dickhead. I'm like, why don't Maxi or Alexis just go to Monica and tell her what her jackass of a boyfriend is doing? Or matter of fact, get a new judge. I would have done that 2.2. Get you a new judge, because this guy I don't know what his problem is, but for some reason he has it out for Maxi. I don't know why. Like, did Felicia used to bone him or something back in the day? Is that why he's so mad and taking his anger out on her daughter? Like, does this have something to do with her daddy, her mama? Like, what is his problem? What, you got hemorrhoids or something? Like, what is your issue? I'm just saying, what, he don't like blonde women or something? He racist? What is his deal? Like, I'm just not understanding this guy. Like, what is driving him to be so harsh to this woman that he don't even know? Like, what is your problem? She's not a crackhead. She's not on drugs. She's not a criminal. She's not dating a criminal. Nathan is a cop. He's not a danger to her. He's not a danger to her daughter. What is the deal? She's not a bum. She has a stable place to live. She might be jobless, but so what? Like, damn, the woman, she's not mentally ill, so why can't she see her child? She's not asking for full custody. She's not even asking for joint custody. She's asking for visitation. What is the problem? I'm not understanding it. So she's pissed because, this is her second year without her daughter for Christmas. But Nathan assured her that she will be spending Christmas with her daughter. Hopefully, whatever Nathan does, it is legal and won't get nobody in no more trouble. I'm just saying. But it was a nice scene. I liked it. I think they do look good together. I'm definitely a Nathan Maxi fan. I'm definitely in. So anyway, Sonny's in Pentonville meeting up with his little henchman, Sean, the worst hitman in history. I'm gonna tell you right now, no disrespect, but Sean couldn't lace up Jason's boots. I'm just saying. He's one of the worst. And this guy used to be in a goddamn army. He used to be a military. Come on. Wasn't he in a war? You're the worst. Your aim is worse. You're horrible. So Sonny wants him to find Rick, grab Rick so that way he don't have to hand over his territory to Johnny Zakara. But the thing is, I wouldn't trust Sean with this. I really wouldn't. Because obviously Sean he sucks. I'm just saying. But I'm kind of surprised that Sonny is doing this for Rick. Sonny is actually, if he don't get Rick, he's actually thinking about handing over his entire organization over to Johnny for Rick. I said, wow. Sonny's finally doing something selfless? I'm shocked. I think deep down, Sonny always cared about Rick, but I always felt like he felt bad for Rick. Because, for years, Rick and Sonny been in this feud, and it's always been because Sonny and Rick's mother, Adela, chose Sonny over Rick. But that's not really the case. The reason being was his mother, she had a choice, and she made her choice, but in a way, she didn't have a choice. Trevor didn't give her too much of a choice. It was either you be a mother to Sonny or you be a mother to Rick. But he was basically telling Adela back in the day, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Rick has to understand his mother was put in an impossible position. She had to choose one son over the other, and she didn't want to choose either. She wanted to raise both, but it just didn't work out like that. You can't go around blaming Sonny for something he had nothing to do with. He was a little boy then, So you can't go around blaming him. You can't even blame Adela, it was all Trevor's fault. Trevor put her in that position. So your feud, I think the feud was very pointless. It was entertaining for the fans, but it was pointless at the same time. I get his anger, but his anger was misguided in my opinion. But I'm actually kind of glad, Sonny is willing to do this huge thing for Rick, Makes me kind of look at him in a different light, but I'm sure I'll change my mind once he's back out on the street and acting like an arrogant ass again. But I digress. So anyway, Michael went to the brownstone. Carly, Morgan, Kiki, and the baby, they're gushing over the new baby. And Michael comes in to drop a bomb on Kiki and Morgan that he's throwing their jobless asses out of the brownstone. And some people might say it was cruel because of the baby or whatever, but Michael made it clear. He's not trying to throw the baby out. He said that he would pay for the baby to stay there or whatever, rent or whatever like that. He just don't want those two lazy asses in the brownstone. But I agree with Michael. They have plenty of places they can go. Number one, Sonny's house is vacant. It's a big house. Carly, she got plenty of room. She got a huge house. And her mother and brother live with her, so there's plenty of people there to help with the baby, babysit. She could even hire a maid. She could hire a nanny because, she has nannies for all her kids. Remember when Michael and Morgan were growing up, she had Mercedes. Jocelyn has a nanny. So, And I'm so sick of Morgan sitting there trying to call Michael a vindictive ass. Who cares if he is being vindictive? You think he's supposed to swallow his pride and forgive all y'all? I don't think so. He don't owe y'all no favors. He owes y'all nothing. He has every right to kick y'all the fuck out of his brownstone. It's his place. He can throw you out whenever he wants. And that's what he's choosing to do. He's choosing to throw y'all out on y'all broke asses. So whatever. Deuces. If you can't pay the rent, get out. Deuces. Seriously. I think it might have been a little cruel, but hey, I'm with it. Because I think this is a good side to Michael. We're getting, I'm tired of seeing the always Mr. Nice Guy Michael. It's good to see the vindictive, cruel side of him. you know, but I could see in a way like his facial expressions, I think he wanted to crack a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, I hope all you have a great day. See you tomorrow. If not, see you Friday. Hopefully I can get a video out tomorrow before I have to go back to work. See you all later. Have a great day.